abacunguwe n'Uwiteka bazagaruka bagera i Siyoni nziza. Baririmba ibyishimo bihoraho bizaba kuri bo n'amahoro menshi. Bazagira umunezero n'ibyishimo kandi umubabaro no gusuza umutima bizahunga.
upendo ruru, nije tugani wacu. Aho ijuru rinyiguriwe, ijuru rurira nyiguriwe. Nitafurahi sana katika Bwana, nafsi yangu itamshangilia Mwokozi. Yeye amenivika vazi la wokovu, amenifunika vazi la haki. Tuliimbie jina la Yesu aliyetufilia, alijitoa hata akafa ili wenye dhambi tupone. Tuliimbie jina la Yesu aliyetufilia, alijitoa hata akafa ili wenye dhambi tupone. Kama nchi itoavyo machipuko yake, kama bustani oteshavyo mimea, ndivyo Bwana atakavyootesha haki na sifa mbele ya mataifa. Kama nchi itoavyo machipuko yake, kama bustani oteshavyo mimea, ndivyo Bwana atakavyootesha haki na sifa mbele ya mataifa. Tuliimbie jina la Yesu aliyetufilia, alijitoa hata akafa ili wenye dhambi tupone. Tuliimbie jina la Yesu aliyetufilia, alijitoa hata akafa ili wenye dhambi tupone. Kwa ajili yako nami alivumilia, akafa msalabani ili tuokoke. Hata leo yu mlangoni mwa moyo wako, agonga umfungulie. Tuliimbie jina la Yesu aliyetufilia, alijitoa hata akafa ili wenye dhambi tupone. ili tupone. Itoavyo machipuko yake, kama bustani oteshavyo mimea, ndivyo Bwana atakavyootesha haki na sifa mbele ya mataifa. Yasafishayo uchafu wote, akuita mwenye dhambi, apate kukutua mzigo, yu tumaini la vizazi vyote, anatakasa wadhambi, akuita mwenye dhambi, apate kukutua mzigo, yu tumaini la vizazi vyote, anatakasa wadhambi. Yasafishayo uchafu wote, akuita mwenye dhambi, apate kukutua mzigo, yu tumaini la vizazi vyote, anatakasa wadhambi, akuita mwenye dhambi, apate kukutua mzigo, yu tumaini la vizazi vyote, anatakasa wadhambi.
Yesu aliacha yote kwa ajili yako,
akuokoe uliyepotea, akuokoe uliyepotea.
astahili sifa, shukrani ni za mwana kondoo.
Anakupenda, alikufia, tumaini la vizazi vyote. Anataka wadhambi, akuita mwenye dhambi, apate kukutua mzigo. Yu tumaini la vizazi vyote. Anataka wadhambi, akuita mwenye dhambi.
Karibuni wote katika sabato ya leo ambayo inaongozwa na inaongozwa na familia na Okay, karibuni sana katika sabato ya leo itakayoongozwa na Mr. Sentenga. Bado tuko katika mwezi wa familia ambao tunamaliza siku ya leo. Wakati wa jioni niwakaribishe wote pale mlipo. Basi tufungue na wimbo namba 13, ubeti wa kwanza na wa mwisho. Tuimbe kwa furaha. Alafu baada ya hapo tutapata ombi kutoka kwa Rachel. Alafu baada hapo tutasikia sauti kutoka kwa Mr. Sentenga. Karibuni sana. Namba 13, please. Is it can hear? No. Are they singing?
Mum, they're all muted.
They're all muted. I'm gonna hear this.
Me too.
I didn't put on.
I didn't know so. So songs around?
Number 13.
13. Umetuahidi kwamba wawili watatu wakija utawabariki. Kwa hivi leo twapiga magoti nyumbani pako Baba wetu, utubariki. Yesu uje kwetu, uwe karibu, uje utawale sauti zetu, nyimbo hazo sala uziagize, imani izidi ikamilike, pendo liwe safi na njia nuru. Yesu uje kwetu, utubariki. Yesu uje kwetu, uwe karibu.
Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for allowing us all to gather here so that we may be able to listen to your word. I pray that you may continue to be with us and continue to protect us and keep us safe, as we thank you for already bringing us through this whole week, and as we as there is this illness that's going around, that you may be able to protect us and keep us safe. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Hamjambo wapendwa wa Mungu. Happy Sabbath to all of you. Families who have gathered in your houses and your homes. I'm very sorry for becoming a little late. But I'm glad that we are all over there and ready to start this evening's worship. This weekend, I'm informed that, as you all know, of course, the 13th Sabbath tomorrow, and really, indeed, we want to dedicate to our children. So tonight, I'm going to discuss something that is going to be in the form of a story, and I'm sure your children will tap on this, and also we as adults are going to profit in this. And tomorrow, we are going to look at what is affecting all of the families, the issue of the children now who have come home from universities, from schools. It must be a very great challenge to many parents all over the world, because now schools and universities and colleges are closed and the kids are at home. It must be a challenge to not only the parents, also to the teenagers, also to the young people who have had to leave their friends and now stuck at home. So that's what we are going to address tomorrow in the main service. But tonight, I want us to look at a topic, at a subject in a form of a story for our young people and also for ourselves. And the story is familiar to many of us. And this is the story about the fall of Jericho. Kwa hivyo watu wa Mungu karibuni, tukishare hii story ya fall of Jericho. It is quite dramatic and very interesting. As we share, I want you to realize the importance, the lessons we can learn, and the connections they have over these times where we are now. I want to also, and hope against the hopes that all of us are safe and sound where we are, because we have not heard of any outbreak of any illness in our communities, especially our church in Angaza, or our friends. And if there is one who has tested stay positive, please stay positive. You are in God's hands. So let us get a way of helping one another and getting a way of calling one another, even if we are not visiting one another, so that at least we know everyone is safe, everyone is sound, especially those who live in lonely places and those who don't have families around here and whose families maybe are back home and they are here on themselves. We need to keep in touch so that they don't suffer in silence. We also need to get in touch to help those who might be elder among us, who might not be able to access food, who don't have transport so that we can buy them food. So no one in this time should suffer because they are lonely, or because they have been tested positive, or because they are old. So today we want to look at this Jericho. And Jericho is very interesting. It is very interesting, and I want us to pick it from the book of Joshua, it goes through chapter 5, the whole of Joshua chapter 5 to verse 15, and the whole of chapter 6. It has a very important information. I'll read from verse 1. Verse 1 says, "Now the gates of Jericho were securely barred because of the Israelites. No one went out and no one came in. Then the Lord said to Joshua, 'See, I have delivered Jericho in your hands, along with these kings and fighting men. March around the city once with all the armed men. Do this for 6 days.'" This is a period when the children of Israel are coming from Jerusalem, from Egypt. So they have now, Moses has passed away, they are now crossed in Canaan, they are now crossed, and they are now attacking city by city. And this city by city means that they were having challenges, because people were prepared. People these people had come out of, crossed the Jordan, had crossed the Red Sea. Watu wetu nataka kuambia, they had a big challenge. And so, as they approached this fortified city of Jericho, it was a very powerful city. This is a very interesting story for our children and also for ourselves, because this city was so fortified. It had a strong army, it had big walls, the horses, the iron chariot. It had trained for this war. They were prepared, they were ready, they were very ready for these people to come. It was one of the strongest and richest cities that was to face Israel challenge. So they were wonderful. So Israel had camped in a valley before them. And let me tell you, where we are now we are camped in the valley. Everyone has been stationed in his house, or in her house. We are camped in the valley. They had camped in the valley. And before them was the coronavirus. Before them was the city of Jericho. And this city was not easy. The forts were high. So Joshua, a good man, a man of God, thought the only way he can do it is to ask for prayer, to consult God in his prayer, to make sure that everybody was safe. So Joshua consulted God and said, God, and that was his custom. That's what he had come all these years. That's what he had with him. Moses had always done. They consulted God. And God told him, here, Joshua, this war is not going to be the normal war that you have been fighting. The Ammonites and the Amalekites. This is a different war. And this war is going to be fought on a different footing. And this is where it gets very interesting, children, if you are listening. Because he told them, I want you to organize the army. And we are talking about 600,000 people. Organize the army, select a few men in the army, and when they are ready, they will go ahead. Not so many. Do you know? And then followed by the 7 priests carrying the ark. And then followed by the trumpets. Priests blowing the trumpets. 7 priests blowing the trumpets. First of all, the army, the priests blowing the trumpets, and the Ark of the Covenant. Then all the 12 tribes were to select men of the army to follow according. So they were going, if you have watched some independent days, when say Tanzania is celebrating their Uhuru independence, or any other country, they have groups coming in the stadium one by one, and they're marching. And that's how they were. Instead of marching around the field, they were marching around the wall. And Joshua was informed, you have to do it once a day for 7 days. So every morning they were ready. And God had told him on the 7th day, you are going to do it 7 times. And when you finish the 7th time, I will order word that you say, you all, wherever you are, you shout. That's it. That's all you have to do. So, the army, followed by this 7 people blowing, priests blowing trumpets, 7 of them, followed by the Ark of the Covenant, followed by the 12 tribes in their armies, representatives, following, and that was the order. It went on. It was marching. They were, if you know of the Pathfinder marching, or Toto, if you know how the Pathfinder marches, you have seen them in their camp meeting, when they march in front with their drums, followed by the preacher of the day, followed by the entourage going to preach. It is so lovely. Or if you have watched those independent days in Africa, they are so lovely to watch, with so many army men watching around and school choirs and going around. Or if you have gone to the GC and see how all the nations are marching with their flags around on the Thursday or Friday before the main service, it is wonderful. So they marched, and no one, not even Joshua, knew how they are going to win. He was just following orders from God. A time has come for us to follow orders. The time has come for us to tell orders. The government is giving orders. It is giving directions. Health ministry is giving orders. The president of the General Conference has given instructions. He has even postponed the General Conference session this year. Our union presidents, our field presidents, our conference presidents have given us directions of what to do. Our churches have given us directions of what to do. Like now, everyone knows the instructions. So these people began marching. And that was what is interesting was people inside the walls who were fortified and very strong. They had people who were looking. People were on the top of the wall, watchmen of the city. And they were begun. They saw people coming on the first day. They said, get ready. These people are going to attack us now. Get ready. Get ready. They are going to come to the gate anytime. Please get ready. And they steadied their forces. They started their chariots. Everything was ready to bounce on the Israelites. Oh my God. They were ready. And then these people came from the valley marching. And they saw them from afar. They saw the military men coming in front. And they told the king, said, right. All the kings had gathered together and they were in Jericho. And said, right. Crush them when they open that gate. Crush them. Don't open the gate. Wait until they attack. Then crush them. And they watched them. Bah, bah, bah. I can imagine the way everybody had feared Goliath when he was challenging the Israelites from the Philistine camp in that valley, and had taken days, 40 days. Corona has not taken 40 days. I mean, we are locked not yet 40 days, but 40 days he had challenged them. And this morning David comes up and said, I'm going to challenge him. Can I get permission to go? And they said, why, little David? You can't do nothing, man. You're a small lad of 17 years. So, you can't do nothing. So everyone was anticipation when David went to attack Goliath. Everybody laughed. The enemy camp laughed. And the Goliath said, oh, am I a dog that you send somebody? The same thing with the Jericho. They saw only a few army men marching. And they marched from the valley. They approached the city. When they approached the city, the tension raised even higher this side. Everybody raised high. Everything was high. The army was alert. The commanders were ready. If they opened that door, kill. Nothing. And what is surprising, these men came. And when they came, the army, when they reached the gate, they just went round. And they are, what? What are they going to attack first from the back? You think they will manage? The only easy place to attack is from the main gate. These walls go round. They have no idea that these walls go round. So now, what happened? They tensed. They say, okay, maybe they are going to attack, going round and coming back to the gate. So the watchmen were now many. They were watching, and these men were going, and the trumpets were blowing, and everyone was marching. Woo! Marching. And they marched. When they went round, instead of coming to the gate, straight into their camp, they marched back. And the men, when Matchman said, King, these people are cowards. They have all gone back to their camp. What do they think they are fooling? They are fooling themselves. Second day came, same thing happened. Third day came, same thing happened. Watched around the camp. On the fourth day, they also came, and nothing happened. And everyone was getting anxious. Even the children of Israel were saying, oh, we can't wait until we get the seventh day. We'll see what is going to happen. All it went until Friday. That was the sixth day. Children, that was a tough time. Watu wa Mungu, kila moja alikuwa naangalia what is going to happen on the sixth day. That was the last march. And these people inside had already given up. These people know nothing. They're not going to attack us. And came the seventh day. When the seventh day came, the Sabbath day came, I tell you what, all the pathfinders, everybody in that camp was counting 600,000 men, women and children, close to 1 million. They were counting. And Joshua said, I told you, go out. This time you are going to go 7 times. And they went, and round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6, round 7. And Joshua said, when I say shout, all of you shout. And Joshua said, and now before he shouted, it was like being in Trafalgar Square when New Year is beginning. What happens to Big Ben? People begin counting. Can you help me count? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shout! Woo! And everyone shouted, and the walls of Jericho came crumbling down, all of them. And Joshua said, go in. The instructions were very clear. Don't take anything. It's a rich city. It has gold. It has silver. It has all minerals. It has everything is rich. Don't touch nothing. Destroy everything. Except, and that's lesson number 2, I will come to it later. There was a specific family, a specific lady. This young lady, she was called Rahab. I remind the others who know the Bible very well that years earlier, when the children of Israel were going to approach Canaan, they had set out spies to spy the land. And when they reached Jericho, 2 people reached Jericho, and they were spotted by people at the main gate. And they said, these are spies. We are going to kill them. But they ran into a house next to the wall. And this house belonged to a lady by the name Rahab. She was a prostitute, but she was ready to receive these men. She opened her house, opened her door, and put in the 2 men. And the commotion outside was much that they were going to kill the men. So Rahab had gotten 2 ropes and had made the 2 men to escape, climbing the wall and falling on the other side. But before they left, Rahab had said, make me a promise. I can see you have men of God. When you take this city, please save my family. Save my family. And they had sworn and said, we will. Many years later, when Jericho is now crumbling, Joshua reminded them, those 2 men go straight to the Rahab's house. It is the only house that will remain standing. Is your house the only one remaining standing at the moment when you have coronavirus? Is your house as a Christian the only one standing because Christ is ready to keep his promise? Is your house intact? Is your house ready? Is your house panicking? And if it is, then you are in trouble. You are not supposed to panic. Rahab was settled. Everything in the house. She had brought everybody in her house. When everybody was fortifying, Rahab had brought all her family and said, hey, kuja ndani, stay with me. Kuja. All that related to her were in her house. Small house, they crumbled it. Those who can be under the bed, over the bed, in the sitting room, everywhere. On the roof, they were there in her house, hiding. She knew the promise. Do you know the promise? Angaza. Do you know the promise when everybody is panicking at this moment? Are you strong enough to say, like Rahab, come in my house? It is a safe house. The children are not home now. Are you keeping that promise, or are you panicking even in the house? People are panic buying. People are doing everything. But people of God are people of prayer. You know, this is the time to pray. This is the time to rejoice. When the city crumbled, they went in. Everything was crushed. Without a gun, without firing anything. Everything started crumbling and these people were killing each other among themselves. Nothing remained. Joshua had told them, the only thing, that gold, that jewel, that very expensive minerals, gold, silver, what, bring them, don't destroy them. Bring them, they are going to be in the house of God as a treasure. That's where they are going to be kept. So they collected all those expensive minerals, bars of gold, and put them in God's trap. They came back singing. And Joshua told them, bring Rahab and her family. And that's what happened. They brought Rahab and her family, and she was allotted a piece of land and said, stay safe. We have kept our promise. Do you keep your promise? When you promise your children, do you keep your promise? When the children promise their parents, do you keep your promise? When the children promise each other, do you keep your promise? Joshua kept the promise. Brothers and sisters, something happened. I don't want to end without telling you this. And very sad. Indeed, they have won. But there was one man, one greedy man, who didn't follow instructions. It is so sad that people don't follow instructions. This greedy man, his name was called Achan, or Achan, wherever you want to call him. Achan. He was a greedy man. He looked at the bars of gold. He looked at the beautiful garment, very wonderful gowns. He took one beautiful gown, took quite a few bars of diamond, and said, I don't know. Let me go and keep these things for myself. I'll make money later. And he went quietly and took them and buried them under his house, in his tent. Buried them there. I don't know if the wife was aware. If she was, she didn't report it. I don't know if the children were aware. If they were, they didn't report it. I don't know if he did it alone and he just kept those things by himself. But he did disobey. How many times do we children disobey our parents? When they tell us something and we do the opposite. How many times do we disobey each other? How many times do we become unfaithful to each other? This was unfaithfulness. And one man out of near 1 million people, no one, not even Joshua, knew except him. If his wife had seen him, fine. If the children has, then that makes the family. But he hid these beautiful things that he thought were and hid them. The war is over in Jericho. Everyone is rejoicing. Even Rahab is rejoicing. Joshua is rejoicing. People are happy. The next few weeks, there is a small town, much smaller, very unprotected. Spies went there. This little city was called Ai, A-I. And Joshua sent people there and said, you go and look at Ai. This is our next destination. So they went to Ai. They came back and said, man of God, we don't even need to send many people. A few people will go and destroy that city. Don't even worry. It's so nothing. They're not even prepared. Oh, Joshua said, oh, fine. So Joshua, in his capacity as a man of God, forgot for the first time to seek counsel from God. He despised those little people. He said he didn't even need to pray. He only sent a few soldiers. Never consulted God. I tell you what, family, never reach a time when you are self-sufficient and don't consult God. In big matters and in small matters, God is important. Joshua was misled by his advisors, but Joshua was clever enough, should have known. He sent a few army to go and destroy that city without consulting God. What happened? When they reached Ai, a small town, nothing compared to Jericho, the army of Ai completely destroyed. Killed not so many people, it killed 35 Israelites. And chased them like kids being chased. He chased them. And then problems now began to happen in the camp. People were dying, things were happening, things were being destroyed, people were dying. And Joshua said, something's gone wrong somewhere. He opened his eyes and consulted God. Do you consult God in your house? When things are not working well in your house, do you consult God? Joshua said, wait a minute. Let us all pray. Something's not right. Is it I which has destroyed us that army? No, something's wrong. And they prayed, and Joshua, God reliably told him, Joshua, yes, sir, in this camp, what did I tell you when you go to Jericho? Yes, sir, you said you go 7 times, we did that. You said we shout, last shout, we did that. You said we should save Rahab, we did that. You said we should not steal anything, we did that. So I don't know. God said, yes, you're right. One of you, just one, disobeyed, became unfaithful. And until that person is brought out, you're going to have troubles. Sometimes it takes only one member of the family to create a lot of havoc to the family. One child can become a drunkard and everyone will not have peace in that house. A husband can become a problem and people will have a problem in that house. A wife can become a problem in that house. Money can miss in the family and everybody can start crying. Coronavirus is becoming a problem. We are all crying and panicking. Even the Prime Minister now has been tested positive. Prince Charles has tested positive. Everyone is panicking. One person and that one sin, that coronavirus is the thing at the moment. So Joshua, you need to find out exactly who that person is. Otherwise you won't have peace. So Joshua paraded everybody. Go to your tribes, 12 of them. You're talking about 600,000 people. He called the leaders and said, we have a problem. Among us, there's one person who has disobeyed God. So, all of you, go back to your country, go back to your camps, count your own people. You know, they went through that. Some tribes had 40,000 people, 45,000 people. Some have 67,000 people. Some had 70,000 people. You are to count, you are to ask everyone, is it you? Is it you? And Achan all along knew that he was the one. All along. But they went from a big, massive tribe until they went to small clans, until they went to houses. It is only then that Achan identified himself. By road, he was identified. He, until the last, when everybody had gone through suffering. And you know what happened to Achan. They said, okay, this man has brought us trouble here. They stoned him to death, stoned his wife, stoned his children, and every Israelite brought a stone and put a heap. It was like a mountain on top of that. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, our children, let us not bring shame to our community. Let us not bring shame to our family. When you are there, you are carrying that name. Yes, you are Alice Champanda. That means everyone who Googles that name knows that's the Champanda family. Yes, you are Mavanza. Whoever carries that name is a Mavanza family. What does that mean? That name is very important. It should be protected. If it is not protected, everyone is going to suffer because of one's wickedness. The whole of Israel suffered because of Achan. So, as I finish, may I invite all of us to pray, to know that even if we are going through these times, these dangerous times of coronavirus, when people are dying left and right, when all of us are working in it, many of us, as I know, from many of our African brethren from this church and maybe the next churches, most of us are working in the health sector. Either we are carers or we are nurses or we are what. We are on the front line every day. Please remember to pray for these wonderful people. And children, may I appeal to you who are remaining at home. Those who are old, look after the young ones. Tomorrow we will discuss more about your responsibility and role since you are back from school. So may God bless us. Let us not be Achan. Let us be Rahab, who asked for help and he was given. Let's keep our promises. Let us be people who trust God. May God bless us. Let us close with a word of prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this beautiful moment you have given us. As a people of Angaza, as this dedicated church, we want to dedicate every member, young and old, to be faithful, so that the war that is going on at the moment, the war of coronavirus, it is fought on our knees. It is fought by God, because the fall of Jericho was not by the mighty hand of Israel. They never used a weapon, but they used the God. God gave them the power, and God defeated the enemy. May God fight on our side. May we invite God in our houses. May we invite God in our places of work. May we pray for those people who are on the front line going to work day and night in nursing homes, in hospitals. These people are exposed to danger. May God guard them. May God protect them. May God look after all of us. Those of us who are going to so that we don't bring diseases to our families. Take care of us, dear Father. And as we approach the holy hours of the Sabbath, be with us and bless us. Let this be a learning curve. Let the whole nation know there is a God. Because there is a God in Israel, let everyone, wherever they are, quote Bible, sheikhs, everybody, everyone who doesn't know God, let them be a believer. Let your will be done in our lives as we rest tonight. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Ya leo nimkaribishe mzee wa zamu ili aweze kuleta matangazo. Sijapata kwamba ni nani. Mzee wa zamu ni mchunga. Okay, naomba usubiri kidogo nikuruhusu. Okay, mzee mchunga yupo line. Okay, okay, unaweza unmute microphone yako na kutoa matangazo tafadhali. Karibu. Mzee mchunga karibu.
Asante mzee, habari za jioni watu wa Mungu.
Nzuri.
Tunashukuru Mungu mzee Sentenga, tunashukuru Mungu kwa huduma yako kwa Angaza. Tunapenda kutoa shukrani nyingi sana kwa mama pia. Umekuwa nasi kwa wiki hizi 4, kwa hiyo tunaendelea kukushukuru sana.
Okay, mzee unashukuriwa sana.
Kesho huduma yetu inaanza saa 3 kamili. Watoto wetu watakuwa wanaongoza vipindi vyote. Kwa hiyo ni waombe wazazi mwakumbushe watoto. Nafikiri tumeshawakumbusha tayari, lakini tuwakumbushie tena. viongozi wa watoto, kama kuna shida yoyote, naomba muwasiliane na wazazi, wasiliane na viongozi wa watoto ili mtiririko uwepo mzuri. Mama Sherifumo, na imani unanisikia? Kama kuna wasiwasi yoyote, tafadhali naomba mjipange. Watoto najua wengi tumeshawakumbushia, lakini tuzidi, kama kuna wasiwasi wowote, jaribu kuwakumbushia wazazi nini cha kufanya. Zaidi ya hapo, ni watakie labda sabato njema, unless kama kuna mengine zaidi, lakini sidhani. Watakie sabato njema, na Mungu akipenda tuonane kesho. Mzee Chempana, tunashukuru sana kwa huduma yako. Tuendelee kualika marafiki, ndugu na jamaa kwa ajili ya kwenda pamoja. Mpaka hapo tunafikia mwisho wa ibada hii ya jioni. Next week ambayo itakuwa ni Friday, tutakuwa tunaongozwa na idara ya vijana. Kwa hiyo Mzee Msalika, naomba upange vijana wako, tunawasubiri kwa hamu sana. Otherwise niwatakie rehema ya Bwana iwe pamoja nanyi. Tuendelee kuombeana wagonjwa ambao wengine wako masafari, tuendelee kuombeana ili tuende. Lakini cha msingi, tafadhali tuzingatie matangazo yote yanayotolewa na serikali kwa ajili ya kujiweka sawa na ugonjwa wa corona. Kama kuna mtu anahitaji msaada, wasiliana na ofisi ya wazee, wapo kwa ajili yenu, na tutafanya ambacho tunaweza kwa ajili ya kutoa msaada wowote. Otherwise niwatakie sabato njema mpaka hapo kesho. Mungu awabariki sana. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana. Basi tuna hitimisha matangazo haya kwa jioni ya leo. Mungu awabariki na karibuni kesho kwa ajili ya ibada ya kesho.
Mibaraka